Ladies and gentlemen, this story is extremely heartbreaking, and we have another story out of Cleveland, Ohio. And I just don't know if it's just an individual situation, but the stories that keep coming out of Ohio, I don't know if you guys remember the story of Anaya Day Garrett, also out of Cuyahoga, Cleveland, Ohio, around the same area roughly. But it seems like Cleveland just continues to keep producing these stories. And one thing that you'll notice with a lot of these stories is that you'll have a large number of mothers who have kids without the biological father in the home with these children. These children end up dead or missing in a lot of these stories. And what happened to this little girl is just unspeakable. But again, I want you guys to remember that nothing is more difficult than what we have to listen to than what these babies are forced to live with. And I look at this little girl and I'm like, she is a beautiful little girl. Reminds me of my daughter when she was that age. Just little sponges. They're just happy little balls of energy. And I just can't understand what will possess somebody to do something this heinous. Now, that mother that you see on my screen, please don't let the smooth taste fool you. Let me show you another picture, because she had a smooth little picture up here a minute ago. Let me see if I can find it. Right here. And sometimes a picture just doesn't tell the story, because this is a devil in disguise. And it looks like she's a nice, beautiful woman, but she is by far one of the most heinous individuals and done something very, very hellacious to her daughter. So again, my opinions might not sit well with your sensibilities, so that is your disclaimer if you need to exit the video. A mother in Ohio is behind bars after police say that she killed her 5-year-old daughter in their apartment. Brace yourself. From repeatedly stabbing the little girl with a kitchen knife. For those who might not understand how deep that is a lot of hate. That is a lot of rage. And you would have to ask yourself, now we all know that children are innocent. All children, all babies are innocent. Yes? This little girl could have done nothing on planet Earth to deserve her mother treating her like this. There is no level of getting that upset with a child. But I also want you guys to remember, that's why this parenting thing and us having kids and, oh, we strong, y'all. We strong. We's can do it all by ourselves. We's don't need no man, right? We don't need a man. That's the popular mantra in society. But you lose your cool, lose your temper, lost your ever-loving MFing mind, and stabbed this 5-year-old little girl multiple times to death. Are they ever going to give us a real answer as to why she did it? I'm not so sure that she's going to admit that. But her name is Menoka Carr Neely, Menokka. I don't even know what a Menoka is. I've never heard of a name like that, but I'm pretty sure she hated her name, probably hated herself, and hated what she produced in that little girl. She's 29 years old and was taken into custody on Saturday evening and is facing charges of aggravated murder and felonious assault in the death of Enijah Noel Holland. And again, Enijah is right there, 5 years old. Yes, this is another story out of Cleveland. And let me say thank you to WKYC for the report initially, and also thank you to Law and Crime for the article. Now, just after allegedly stabbing her daughter to death, Neely, the mother, reportedly spoke to the girl's father and grandmother. The biological father and grandmother, telling them both that she had just killed Enijah. Neely appeared before a judge on Monday in Bedford Heights Municipal Court for her arraignment, where she reportedly waived her right for a preliminary hearing and formally entered a plea of not guilty. Why would you ever expect for somebody to admit to doing something wrong? But she says she's not guilty, okay, to the aforementioned charges. The judge reportedly ordered Neely to remain in detention at the Cuyahoga County Jail on a $2 million bond and announced to the court that her case had already been sent to Cuyahoga County grand jury. Neely was granted a court-appointed attorney because she's broke, she didn't have no money, and couldn't afford private counsel. Stupid is as stupid does. Ain't that right, Lieutenant Dan? WKYC and Cleveland Fox affiliate WJW both reported that Elijah's father, by the name of Gregory Holland, 29 years old. So for those who are asking, where's the biological father? Here it is. The biological father also called 911 and requested a welfare check at around the same time that Elijah's grandmother called after getting that alarming FaceTime conversation with the mother. Gregory reportedly told 911 dispatcher that Neely had unambiguously stated that she had just stabbed their daughter. And I am so glad that I was able to pronounce that word on the first try. I'm not going to repeat it. She said she stabbed her, Holland told the dispatcher. Joy Holland, who is Elijah's grandmother, reportedly said that the conversation with Neely is what prompted her to call police, was even more disturbing, with the younger woman allegedly taunting her about Elijah's death. And let me tell y'all, this is going to be the kick in the stomach right here. So I hope you guys are sitting. I hope you guys are bracing yourselves. Listen to what this heinous ass bitch said to the grandmother. Y'all ready for this? I was calling my grandbaby to tell her that I had bought her a gift that she asked me to buy her. And as soon as I called her, her mother said, she's dead and God's coming to get you. Here's my thing. Where are all those people that want to just write this off like a doctor writes prescriptions? Where y'all at? All the people that want to write this off and say, this was mental illness and y'all don't know what she's going through. Do we have anybody in the chat who wants to vote for mental illness? Anybody who wants to put the excuse out there and say, we's don't know what she was going through. She was suffering from mental illness. Anybody? I'm just curious. We're live right now. I love to see what you guys' opinion is about that. Because you know what's funny? I always get people in my comment section that say that you didn't know what she was going through, you weren't there, and she was probably suffering from mental illness. Well, let me say this with absolute certainty. I don't give a damn what her mental state was. Hello. I don't give a flying pig. I don't care. Life in prison and a permanent sentence to hell when she gets done. Matter of fact, you know what? If they decided to use the ultimate penalty under law on this woman for what she did to that baby, I'm not going to be out there advocating, no, we need to get rid of the ultimate penalty under law. I keep trying not to say that phrase because I'm trying to keep my channel monetized right as best as I can. Limit some of these trigger words. I wouldn't feel bad if they wanted to go ahead and take her off of this earth and send her to Satan. Send her to her maker. Send her to hell. No jail time. Give her hell time. How about that? What are you doing to people, and why would you do that? Not only to your daughter, who you forced her onto this earth. She didn't ask to be here. You decided to conceive. You made the choice to bring her into this world. You decided not to give her up at adoption when you could have given her up to a safe haven. You chose not to give up custody to the biological father since apparently she was too much for you to handle. Didn't want to give anybody else a chance to raise this little girl. And that to me is the most selfish thing that you can do. And she probably only did it just to smite that man. Isn't that something? You can't just move on with your life and say, you know what? Just take your daughter and leave me alone. I don't want nothing. Look, you think the father would have had any objection to that? No, but that's too damn easy, isn't it? But here's my problem with our societies. Just so you guys understand, these stories give me an opportunity also to talk about some deeper issues that we might not see on the surface. Okay? Because you can't just look at the news and then just sit there and say to yourself, well, I wish that this stops happening. I can tell you how to fix this each and every day. Every single story has a message in it. And this story has a message that screams, if you're not going to be married, don't make kids. If you don't want to share custody of the kid, don't have kids. If you end up not liking the biological father, well, guess what? That's the choice that you make when you have sex. That comes with the territory, and that also comes with being grown. And I don't think that you get to renege on your contract just because you want to be up in your effing feelings. I don't think that's right. And I know that we have some awesome women in my chat and some awesome fathers and men in my chat that understand exactly what I'm saying. Hello. She taunted the mother and the grandmother and father. Taunted them. Should she get an extra punishment for that in court? I believe so. Yep. She said, Elijah's dead and God's coming to get you. That's about as evil as it gets. But as soon as that FaceTime call ended, Joy Holland reportedly called police and requested a welfare check at the Southgate Tower apartment complex located at the 5300 block of Northfield Road, where Elijah and her mother had lived. Officers with the Bed Heights Police Department responded to the request shortly after the call. Upon arriving at the apartment, first responders reportedly entered the home and found Holland lying on the floor in a pool of blood, inside one of the back bedrooms in the home. She appeared to have sustained multiple stab wounds to her torso. Multiple stab wounds to her torso. That was a painful and agonizing death. Personnel from the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner's Office responded to the home, taking custody of the body and pronouncing Elijah dead on the scene. Neely, who was still in the apartment, was immediately arrested. It's unimaginable to think that somebody would do that to their child, according to Sergeant Robert Mayer, which 100% agree, with Bedford Heights Police, and said in a statement following Neely's arrest that our heart goes out to the family, especially the child's father. Let me give him a shout out for saying especially to the child's father, because too many times I think we forget about fathers. We don't value fathers and we don't recognize their value and their worth. So I'm thankful for everybody who does understand the value of fathers, because it is very, very important, okay? I couldn't imagine what he's going through right now. And investigators reportedly don't know yet what may have prompted this attack. But like I told you, it's just flat out being selfish and wanted to hurt the father. Clearly, that's all this was about. It's still early in the investigation, so we're not sure what motivated any of this. But speaking with the mother, it's our understanding that she stabbed her. We're not sure why, according to Erica Payne, Detective Erica Payne told the news. We just know it was multiple times with a kitchen knife. WKYC reported that Greg Holland, the biological father, had already filed court papers. The biological father filed court papers and was in the process of trying to gain full custody of Elijah but the proceedings had been repeatedly delayed due to the pandemic and recent weather events. Can I tell you guys a funny little thing that I just realized? Context clues. How many people are familiar with context clues? A lot of times people get mad at me and upset because I jump to conclusions when there are a number of things in a lot of these stories, especially like this one, where you can look at it and you can just tell, just give me the details and I can tell you probably what happened. Do you want to know the motive? Again, to hurt the father. Remember, I've already said that. The biological father had filed court papers and filed for full custody. Was she about to lose custody to the father? Was there something that she was trying to hide as far as her bad parenting skills? And if you're so damn good of a mother and a woman, why would you be scared to go to court and fight for your daughter in court as opposed to fighting your daughter? Like, that doesn't seem like a logical course of action. Yes, the dad was going for custody. Let me tell y'all what makes this even more egregious. Hold on. What makes this more egregious? This is exactly what Anaya Day Garrett from Cuyahoga, Cleveland County, Ohio, went through. Is it not the same thing? Same city. When Sierra Day and Deontay Lewis murdered Anaya Day Garrett because the biological father wanted custody, and he wasn't about to argue, scream, and fuss. He just said, let's just go to court, let the court handle it. File court paperwork 4 days before court. You guys can find these videos on my channel. Look up Anaya Day Garrett. 4 days before court, that mother and boyfriend murdered that little girl and then had the freaking nerve to call 911 and do fake CPR on Anaya Day Garrett. Fake CPR. You could hear the breaths going in and out of that little girl's body. And she was, matter of fact, she was 4 years old. Almost the same age as Enijah in this story. Don't y'all think that's ironic? In Ohio, in Cleveland, in Cuyahoga County, that you have a shit ton, excuse my language, a lot of mothers who are about to lose custody to these biological fathers who we keep trying to say don't care about their kids. They ain't in the kid's life, y'all. Well, it looks like this dad was in this little girl's life to the point to where he wanted custody. And instead of fighting it out in court, instead of giving up custody and just let him take on your burden, a lot of these women that I've talked about on my channel in Cuyahoga County have murdered their kids. If coincidence or irony, I don't know what the hell it is, man. Let me give you guys the fair usage, though. I got a couple of news videos. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. All right, and if you guys would do me a favor and please click that thumbs up, not only for this video, but make sure you guys click the thumbs up for the memory of Enijah, because this story is really sad, but it'll help share this video and let more people know that we're here talking about it, okay?
The mother, charged in stabbing her 5-year-old daughter to death over the weekend, pleaded not guilty this morning. 29-year-old Manaka Carr Neely of Bedford Heights is being held on murder and felonious assault charges with a $2 million bond. Neely's attorney said she is waiving the right to a preliminary hearing, so now the case heads to a Cuyahoga County grand jury.
Okay, ma'am, and again, you're just agreeing that this case is going to the grand jury. You're not waiving anything else, okay? So I've indicated that your attorney was here. I've entered a technical plea of not guilty. indicate that the preliminary hearing is waived. The crime and the probable cause is found. You're ordered bound over to the Cuyahoga County Grand Jury for their consideration. And ma'am, I've looked at your record and the seriousness of this offense. I'm setting your bond at $2 million. That's cash or surety, no 10%.
Good.
Okay, anything else?
No 10%. I like that.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much.
We have a couple more there, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Yes,
may I have a case number, please, sir?
22 CRA 00203.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You as well. Oh, no, I still got to this form.
No, she don't look remorseful at
We're gonna have
all.
somebody else, but you don't want to see those. We'll give you time to undo everything.
Let me go ahead and move on to our next video. That was the arraignment right there, if I'm not mistaken. Here we go.
I got a call from female mother who said her daughter called her and said the baby's dead.
In response to calls from concerned relatives, Bedford Heights police check on the welfare of a 5-year-old girl at her mother's apartment on Northfield Road on Saturday. Inside the unit, officers discover the body of 5-year-old Anijah Noel Holland. A short time earlier, the child's mother, 29-year-old Manaka Carr Neely, made a chilling call to Anijah's father.
She was speaking to this child's mother who said she stabbed the child. The child is 5 years old.
Manaka Carr Neely was arrested at the scene on charges that include aggravated murder.
It's still early in the investigation, so we are not sure what motivated any of this. But just speaking to the mother, it's our understanding that she stabbed her.
Again, the motive was because the dad, and they said it at the end of the article. That's the crazy part. Like the article is already out there. They could easily just say that as a fact that the dad had filed for custody, for full custody of this girl. Next thing you know, the girl ended up dead. I don't think you get in any type of legal trouble. I'm not a legal expert, but I think it's okay for the police to tell them that. That's the motive. We don't know the motive. Yes, you do. She was pissed off.
We're not sure why. We just know it was multiple times, and it was a kitchen knife.
We are told that the child's father was so concerned about the well-being of his daughter that he was trying to gain complete custody of the 5-year-old. But hearings in family court were delayed for a variety of reasons, including COVID and the snowstorm earlier this month. Police say Anijah's father and his family are devastated that they could not save the little girl from the demons that led her mother to do the unspeakable.
Beautiful little girl. And I just want to send our deepest condolences out to the family and everyone who's been affected. I can't even imagine what you're dealing with right now, losing a child. It's just unimaginable. So we're keeping everyone in our prayers and thoughts.
Jack Shea, Fox 8 News in Bedford Heights.
And we start with new information on the death of a 5-year-old girl in Bedford Heights.
Tonight, police confirm her mother will face charges, including aggravated murder.
There is no reason why that would justify it or explain it.
Well, the little girl was found stabbed multiple times after police went to the mother's apartment for a welfare check.
News 5's Clay Lepard spoke to police about this tragic crime. He has the latest now on the investigation, all new at 6.
Inside this Bedford Heights apartment complex,
I need someone to do a wellness check on my grandbaby.
Is where police say a mother stabbed and killed her 5-year-old daughter. Officers say a family member checking in on a Valentine's Day gift for 5-year-old Anijah is what tipped them off something was wrong.
She FaceTimed me saying my daughter is hurt, and I just need to know.
911 calls detailed.
That's the biological father speaking right there. Let me let y'all hear it again.
Something was wrong.
She FaceTimed me saying my daughter is hurt, and I just need to know.
911 calls detail the father and family's plea to check in on Enijah. Investigators with Bedford Heights Police say when they arrived here at Southgate Towers, they found the deceased 5-year-old laying on the bedroom floor. The mother, Menaka Neely, now faces charges including aggravated murder and felonious assault.
She told us that, she was the one responsible for doing this.
Bedford Heights Detective Erica Payne.
When it's a kid involved, it just takes it to a whole nother level. What we want people to take from it is if you feel or suspect that something might be going on in the way of child abuse or neglect or anything like that you suspect, give someone a call, have someone check it out.
We reached out to the family of that 5-year-old. A spokesperson for the family told News 5 it's just too soon to talk about what happened to their beloved Enijah. The mother was once a singer affiliated with 828 Music Group, a Cleveland area independent recording label. The label's founder and CEO tells News 5 he's saddened to hear what happened and that the suspect is no longer affiliated with the label as of this past November. We're told specialized staff will be on hand to help students at Central Primary School where Enijah was a kindergartner. As for Neely, she's due to be arraigned in court on Tuesday.
This is a lot. This is a heavy one.
In Bedford Heights, Clay Lepard, News.
We start tonight learning more about the moments after a mother allegedly stabbed and killed her 5-year-old daughter.
This happened on Northfield Road in Bedford Heights. Our Carmen Blackwell has a 911 call and the latest now from police.
I was calling my grandbaby to tell her that I bought her gift that she had asked me to buy her. As soon as I called, her mother said, she's dead, and God coming to get you.
Man, you hear this? I'm going to let y'all hear this one more time. She's dead and God is coming to get you. That's what the mother told the grandmother on the father's side.
One call and the latest now from police.
I was calling my grandbaby to tell her that I bought her gift that she had asked me to buy her. As soon as I called, her mother said, she's dead, and God coming to get you.
Saturday evening around 6:30, Bedford Heights police made a welfare check at an area apartment complex. It came after 29-year-old Menaka Neely told family members she harmed her 5-year-old daughter, prompting these calls to 911 dispatchers from the child's father and grandmother.
She said, what's you again?
She said she stabbed her.
Your child's mother said she stabbed the baby?
Yes.
When officers arrived at the apartment, they found the body of 5-year-old Enijah Noel Holland lying on the floor in a back bedroom after she was stabbed multiple times. Detectives on the case tell us they have no leads yet on a motive for why Menaka would stab her little girl to death.
It's unimaginable to think that somebody could do that to their child. Very, very sad story. Our hearts go out to the family, especially the child's father and their entire family. I couldn't imagine what he's going through right now.
On her Facebook page, Neely frequently posted about her daughter, like this picture for little Enijah's 4th birthday, saying, quote, "My day one, I love you. So happy you chose me to be your mommy."
And you know what that means? That doesn't mean she loves her daughter. What a lot of people do like this, just so you guys kind of understand, is they don't do this because they love their kids. They're doing this because they're trying to get attention off of their kids. They're trying to get something off of their kids, whether it be money, whether it be attention, somebody clicking and liking their post. What do we call that? Hashtag babies for benefits. She did not love this child at all. She only had this child because she wanted benefits from this child to either keep a tie to that man or for her to get attention off of this kid. And once the dad had threatened this mother, saying that he was going to take custody to murder this little girl, that lets me know she never loved this kid at all. There was no love there at all. Impossible.
Neely, Enijah's mother, was arrested at the scene and booked into Cuyahoga County Jail. Her initial court appearance is set for Tuesday. Officers spoke with Enijah's father, who told authorities he was currently in the court process of gaining shared custody of Enijah. But COVID and recent snowstorms have delayed those custody hearings.
They said full custody. They're saying joint custody. I heard full custody, and I'm pretty sure he was going for full custody.
Now, he and the family are devastated after learning Enijah is gone. In a few weeks, she would have turned just 6 years old.
It's very clear to see what happened. But like I say, just to have a handful of stories out of the same city, out of the same county, out of the same type of people, doing the same thing to little girls, to little babies, and killing them because you would rather kill them than go to court and fight for custody, or just give up custody and just move on with your life. She didn't do that because I agree with what you guys are saying in the chat. I think she was extremely selfish. But here's what I want to know. I want to know how many people are going to throw up the white flag and want to give her some grace and say, she was suffering from mental illness, y'all. I am so curious to see what people are going to say in the comment section and how many people want to give her an excuse. Matter of fact, for those who are listening right now, in the chat, you can tell me. Post in the chat. You can see your comments scroll across. How many of you guys believe that this mother deserves an excuse like mental illness? Because I don't. How many of you people believe that nobody should be able to judge her? We've had this conversation many times on my channel before, but I'm curious. Let's take a step back. You look at this picture, and I'm wondering how many of you guys, after knowing what she did, are going to come into the comment section and say, nobody has a right to judge her for murdering a little princess, stabbing a little princess in the torso multiple times. Could y'all imagine that? That is an agonizing death. You bleed out and you give up the ghost to your own mother. This individual that you are forced to live with, this little girl didn't have a choice. She had no say-so in this matter. She could not speak for herself, nor could she defend herself against the tyranny of her own mother. And all I ask in these situations, before we even get to this, how about this? Just stop making kids. How about that? If you want to control a man, don't have kids. If you want to get babies for benefits, don't have kids. How about you get up off your lazy behind and go out and go earn what it is that you want, rather than trying to always step on the backs of somebody else, always expecting a government handout. With the opportunities that we have in this world, even right now, so many people can work from home and achieve their dreams. Work as many hours as you want. Get multiple jobs and don't even have to leave from the house. Almost everybody has some form of internet. It is so much easier to work from home now than it ever has been. To earn what you need to get to where you're trying to go, nor should you ever have done it, but there was never a need to sit there and have a kid, give birth to this kid, and then turn around and murder this little girl like this. That princess didn't deserve that. I'm absolutely just disgusted, and I really feel so bad for the biological father. Any family members who listen to this story, I've spoken to family members before. If you want to contact me, my email address is theafcmatters@gmail.com, because Lord knows these stories need to be talked about, and there needs to be more attention on these stories, because if we don't give it to them, they're going to continue to just keep putting celebrity news out there as the popular thing to talk about. And these stories are going to continue to keep getting swept under the rug like they don't matter. And I think they matter. I think that babies' lives matter. And I think that Enijah's life mattered. Let me show you guys my favorite picture of her. That one. Enijah, young princess. R.I.P. We thank you guys for listening to Elijah's story with an open mind as well as an open heart. And we do hope that hearts will start to change, okay? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are looking at this video and that picture right there, I have to warn you really, really quickly that this story is probably going to bother you in some extraordinary ways. So this story is going to have some details that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities. And my opinion might not sit well with your sensibilities. So if you need to exit, that's your official disclaimer. But I do need to talk about a spawn of Satan. I want you guys to look at this picture. And when they say that pictures speak 1,000 words, those two pictures that just scrolled across my screen, this one and that one. Yes, that is blood on a window. That tells you a lot just in those two pictures alone. And I want you guys to look at this woman's face. Wow. If there were ever like you know how we have angels. What's the opposite of an angel? A demon? I guess she would be like a demon walking the earth. If you look in her eyes, there is nothing inside her head. And I'm not trying to just be disparaging for no reason. I want you guys to understand that the people I talk about have done something heinous to children. If you want me to start being nicer to criminals, then I'm sorry. You are in the wrong damn place. If you're talking about, well, you don't have to talk about these people's looks. Kiss my buns. If somebody hurts children, you damn right I'm going to clown them and talk about them until the cows come home, until the chickens roost. Or the roosters roost. I don't know. Whatever chickens and roosters do, right? But she looks empty. Like it's like she probably got a couple marbles inside of her head rather than a brain. She looks soulless. This woman is 35 years old, and she is allegedly a mother out of Missouri, and she is behind bars after police say, brace yourself, she decapitated her 6-year-old son. Blood on the window. Blood on the window. You want to know what also gives this even more of a kick in the gut? Besides that huge piece of information, you know what else she also did? She decapitated the family dog also. She looks like the type to decapitate a dog and a baby. Does she not? I would love to know who the biological father of that kid was that couldn't look this woman in the face and understand that she was probably batshit crazy. Don't say that you can't judge a book by its cover when you look in somebody's eyes who is just soulless like this. I think that's the little boy on the right-hand side of the screen. I don't know that to be a fact. I can't tell how old or how young he is. I don't know. But the little boy that was murdered was 6 years old. So if I'm wrong about that other picture, then I'll admit that I probably don't know. But this individual, her name is Tasha Haefs. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. But Tasha was taken into custody on Wednesday and charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action in the gruesome slaying of her 6-year-old son and the family dog. Good Lord. Oh. Let me also say thank you for this article from Law and Crime, because that's where we get a lot of our articles from. They do a good job as far as compiling all of the information from a few different websites to try to make sure that you guys get as much information as possible. but nonetheless, according to a probable cause affidavit for a search warrant, officers with the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department at approximately 11:45 p.m. on Tuesday responded to a 911 call about a disturbance at a home located at the 7300 block of Indiana Avenue in Jackson County. The caller, later identified as Tasha H.A.E.F.S. Hefs, I don't care how you pronounce her name, whatever. But the mother told the dispatcher that someone was trying to harm her and said the devil was trying to attack her before she hung up the phone, per Kansas City CBS affiliate KCTV. Upon arriving at the scene to perform a welfare check, first responders observed what appeared to be blood on the front steps of the home. Let me see if I can get you guys a bigger picture, and I do apologize for those who might not be able to handle this, but I want you to remember, nothing is more difficult to listen to than what these kids had to go through. Let me show y'all this. This is a bigger picture. I don't know if I can brighten that or make it any clearer so you can see that. Are you guys able to see that okay? Blood smearing that door. That's at least from the door, among the steps and whatever else that they found on the inside of the house. That's the type of stuff that like nightmares are made of. So this demon is claiming that the devil made her do it, right? So we're going to give her an excuse. How many of you guys out there believe that if the devil made her do it, that she deserves the excuse and she deserves to get the mental pass? She was mentally ill. Do y'all think she should get less time in jail? Maybe I should give you guys some more details. They found blood on the front steps of the home and windows and what appeared to be blood and hair on the front door. Police determined that an adult female was inside the home. KCTV reported that the officers could hear a woman singing inside the house when they knocked. Then she started to sing even louder after she heard them knocking on the effing door. She was singing. I'm still curious. How many of you guys are going to give her a loony pass? Anybody? Just curious. Because I know there's going to be people trying to say it in the comment section. So I'm just curious if you're live. We're live right now. Tell me in the comment section. Yes, you believe. Yeah, I think she needs to get less time in prison and give her a mental illness pass rather than her just being a hateful mother. While trying to make contact with the woman, police learned that multiple children lived in the home and had not been seen in several days. Officers looking through the windows then saw what appeared to be a severed head of a young child near the threshold of the front door. Fearing for the safety of the children who may still be alive inside, police forced their way into the house through the back door. Once inside, officers located the decapitated body of a young child near the front door of the residence, per the affidavit. Let me explain how hateful this is. Not only does it take a lot of effort to stab somebody to death, but to sever a limb, especially a limb that is as strong and developed, the flesh in the neck, the skin, the bone, the marrow and sinew, to separate it from the human body is a very difficult thing to do with what amounted to be a kitchen knife. And not only did you do that to the child, but you did that to the dog. Is like, you did it to the dog as well. And I'm pretty sure that she probably would have went even further, and I'm just going to assume that she was probably going to try to do this to the other kids as well. But the police ended up showing up, I guess, in time. The woman, later identified as Tasha Hafe, or whatever her name is, was covered in blood and was immediately arrested. The Kansas City, Missouri crime scene unit responded and took over the scene. Investigators say that they recovered a knife handle, and a screwdriver that were covered in what appeared to be blood and tissue from inside the dining room. So from what it sounds like was that she stabbed this dog and child so badly and so much, and it took so much effort, that she broke the knife and had to use a screwdriver. Another bloody knife, so 2 knives. Another bloody knife was recovered from the basement, where police say that they found the body of the decapitated dog. Oh my God, I apologize, y'all. I know it's rough. But according to the police affidavit, Tasha waived her Miranda rights and provided a detailed statement to investigators. The document says that she told police that she beheaded the child. That the beheaded child was her biological son, and she admitted to killing the victim in the bathtub and decapitating the victim. And somehow the child ended up in a bathtub. How many stories have we done that involved children being murdered in bathtubs? More stories than we can even count that are on our channel about dead children in bathtubs. I just think it's a very odd correlation between those two things, but let's keep going. The news said that the mother also reportedly denied having any type of mental illness. So anybody who wants to give her that out, she's taking that out away from you. She's saying she's not mentally ill. Prosecutors have requested that she be held with no bond, 0 bond. In a statement, Jackson County Prosecutor Jean Peter Baker said that the 6-year-old's death takes our breath away. And I'll skip that part about it. The mother is currently being held in the Jackson County Detention Center, according to online records. And they leave a probable cause affidavit. That's in there, and you can see that on lawandcrime.com. Let me give you guys the fair usage. I'll give you my personal opinion afterwards. Here we go. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And thank you to those who've already done it. If y'all would, do me a favor and click that thumbs up. We want to make sure that this story and this 6-year-old boy, even the dog, get as much coverage as possible. And you can help do that by just simply clicking the thumbs up. It'll help share the story, okay? So if y'all would do that, that would help us out quite a bit. Here we go. Let's get it.
Kansas City police are continuing to investigate the gruesome killing of a young child who sources say was only about 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah, so this happened last night on the city's east side. Fox 4's John Pepitone is live near 73rd in Indiana to explain the brutal nature of this crime. John?
Carrie, already this case is drawing comparisons to Precious Doe, the little girl whose badly mutilated body was discovered more than 20 years ago. Kansas City police say just before midnight they were called to a home here near 73rd in Indiana to investigate a disturbance. Police say when they arrived, what they observed prompted them to force their way into the house.
We have somebody in the chat who said that, what is it that you said? You said there's nothing wrong with her. She's just evil. And I agree. But let me let the videos play. Totally agree with you, though.
There's a lot of blood clearly visible around the doorway of this home behind me. And what investigators discovered inside disturbed even the most experienced police officers who've seen it all. Police say a child whose sources have told us was only about 5 or 6 had been killed. And sources also have told Fox 4 that the victim's body had been desecrated in a particularly violent manner. Neighbors say they're stunned to learn of the brutality of this crime.
It's just horrific. I feel sorry for the family, and all my prayers go out to the family members. This is a terrible time with COVID just being lifted, like you said, and we don't need this right now in our neighborhood.
It's from 20-something years ago, from the Precious Doe case, and now I'm hearing instead of the baby being 10, the baby might be 5. So it's the same. It's almost the same.
Now, Kansas City police say they have taken a woman who sources say is the child's mother into custody. Early this morning, Mayor Quentin Lucas, who also serves as a police commissioner, tweeted this statement about the crime, quote, "We don't know why an elementary school-aged child was killed this morning, but we understand the pain a family, school, and community are facing. May we see that the assailants are swiftly brought to justice, and may we resolve to avoid more preventable tragedies like this," unquote. And the Jackson County prosecutor also is speaking out about this killing. Jean Peters Baker says, quote, "There are no adequate words to address the harm a child suffered last night. We must rally together, support our kids who need us, and show unity in the common goal of preventing future harms."
Okay, maybe the mayor kept his statement very general so they don't get in trouble. I know they don't like to put their feet to the fire with a lot of things when it comes to their public statements. But I think that the mayor that put out that statement would have had access to the same information that they were reporting and could have maybe been a little more detailed in saying the assailants and hope they're brought swiftly to justice rather than bring this mother to justice who murdered her kid and a dog and probably subjected other children to abuse as well. But, you know, that's just an opinion. Maybe I'm a little bit overreaching there. But let's keep going.
As a mother has just been charged with the murder of her 6-year-old son in Kansas City, Missouri. KMBC 9's Emily Hallwick has been at the scene all day long, 73rd in Indiana. And Emily, what else do we know about these charges?
Well, Chris, those charges just came in against 35-year-old Tasha Hefts. Prosecutors say that she killed her 6-year-old son and that she admitted to killing him. It is truly incomprehensible. You can see behind me that family members, neighbors have been coming by the home to set up this makeshift memorial outside. Those we spoke with are devastated.
We was on our way to the store and seen all the tape and stuff.
Rose Jones and her son were shocked to learn what happened inside the house where they used to live.
They stopped and started telling us a little kid was murdered in that house.
They still live in the area, frequently passing the home that's now become a crime scene.
It was just overwhelming, you know.
KMBC 9 News obtained a warrant application that says a woman in the home called police. When she hung up on officers, they went to the house. Police say due to the circumstances at the scene, they forced their way inside. They found the young victim and took a woman into custody. Once the crime scene tape was down, a memorial went up. Family gathered to grieve and pray.
The police came to my house at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Hubert Hawthorne says he's the father-in-law of the woman who lives here. He believes mental health challenges played a role in what happened.
They are scared to come to the people and ask for help. Our grown-ups, we need to stop. These kids are our future.
Jones and other neighbors are left in disbelief.
There's so many people that want kids. If you don't want them, let somebody else raise them.
The prosecutor's office tells us that knives were found at this scene. An animal that had been killed was also found inside the home. That mother, Tasha Hefs, is being held tonight without.
Cuyahoga County again.
They saw what appeared to be a blood trail to the front door and then looked in and saw something very disturbing.
Fearing the other children who live at the home might be in danger, police forced entry. Finding none, they detained the mother, secured the scene, and got a search warrant. The prosecutor believes the 6-year-old boy died while in the bathtub.
Because she was in such extreme mental distress, she did a series of things that were very disturbing.
Police say the boy was decapitated. Officers saw blood on the porch, the woman's hands, and on knives inside the home.
Anytime it's a child, it just takes on a different depth of despair.
Tasha Haves admitted to police that she killed the victim.
And I understand that we are all struggling with trials and tribulations in our life. But this mental issue is going too far.
Getting justice for the boy is task one, but prosecutor Jean Peters Baker says prevention is second.
Is there some opportunity for us to learn so that we can protect others going forward?
In Kansas City, Brian Johnson, KMBC.
Of a 6-year-old boy is tonight charged in his violent murder. The charge just coming down. Moments ago, that boy was found inside a Kansas City home overnight after police received a call of a disturbance. Police say 35-year-old Tasha Haves was taken into custody from that crime scene you see here. Fox 4's Tia Johnson joins us now live from the home near 73rd in Indiana with these latest developments. Tia, what can you tell us about the investigation?
Well, John Haves is charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. We also got a hold of the search warrant that shares explicit details of what happened inside this home. Police say Haves called and told dispatchers the devil was trying to attack her, and when officers got here, they saw a devastating scene. Balloons, candles, and stuffed animals now serve as a small memorial for a 6-year-old victim. And only a matter of steps away is a mark of blood on this door.
Our grown-ups, we need to stop. These kids are our future.
Hubert Hawthorne says the young boy who was killed is his grandson, named Corvair, and he says mental illness and drugs played a role in the 6-year-old boy's death.
One thing I do know about Cleveland, more specifically Cuyahoga County, a lot of drugs out there being passed around, sold, done, snorted, shot up. Lot of drugs. At the end of the day, that's still a choice that somebody made. It's hard for me, and I know some people might not agree with this, but it's hard for me to look at somebody who does drugs as a victim, like they didn't have any control over it, because in order to get to the point of where you are, where you're abusing drugs, you had to have started at some point. That's a personal choice. And I think that not only when it comes to recovery, one of the first steps that you have to take is to admit that you have a problem. But you also have to admit that the reason you are where you are is because you made the choice to start doing drugs. Personal choice. I think you just got to start holding people accountable, man, period.
It's a lot of things, and we all know it, so don't be ashamed to say it. And let's all address the situation to where we can get the help from God.
Kansas City police say the gruesome murder happened at a home across the street from Noble Park. Officers got a disturbance call around midnight and had to force themselves inside the home. There they found Corvair dead.
We are human too. We know it's our job to go in and do these things, but to act like that doesn't have an impact, that's not realistic, because it does.
I feel bad for those officers, especially in this area, because they see this stuff happen all the time. So imagine this. Imagine that you guys are, because we have people in the chat who have actually worked in very difficult jobs similar to this, okay? Whether it be research or even actually being on the scene. I cannot imagine having to walk inside that house, look around, take pictures of evidence. I gotta say thank you And I don't know why we're so disrespectful to our police officers and investigators and those who, your coroners. Because I don't know if y'all understand this, and I'm pretty sure that Lee will agree with me here. But the main reason why a lot of these cases end up getting to the point of where they are, where they get prosecuted in court, is because the coroners have to prove that it was a homicide. We recently did a story in London, and you guys can go back and watch that video, where the person who committed the crime against the kid didn't get as harsh of a penalty because the doctors and coroners, or whoever, the medical professionals, whoever was responsible, weren't able to quantify it as a murderous death. So the person ended up getting off on a very light sentence. This is a lot of moving pieces, and they all need to be working together and stay strong together. Could y'all imagine every single day that you have to see this? Put these pieces together of these murderous, bloody, bad, smelly, freaking just nightmarish things in order to get justice. But yet you want to talk about defunding police and defunding our governmental systems and stuff like that. Police, coroners, investigators need more funding now than ever, not less. They need more funding. Refund them, not defund them. How about that?
Hours later, family of the young boy came out to set up the memorial and pray for the young life lost. Hawthorne says his biggest message during this tragedy is to get help for mental health.
And I understand that we are all struggling with trials and tribulations in our life. But this mental issue is going too far.
I think that that doesn't help when you just quantify this as a mental illness. No, there were choices that this woman made that were bad way before you got to this point. That's all I'm trying to say. No disrespect to that young man that just spoke. No disrespect to the grandfather.
And coming up on Fox 4 News at...
We have an update now to that breaking news we brought you at the top of this newscast. The Jackson County prosecutor has now filed charges after police found a 6-year-old boy inside a Kansas City home late last night.
This is a tough story here. Those charges were filed in the last half hour against the child's mother. Tasha Hafes now charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. Our reporter Leslie Dellis-Ford joins us live from outside the home where that child was found.
Leslie, we know you've spent the day talking to neighbors, even a relative of that young boy. What have you heard?
And thank y'all for sharing this story. Make sure you guys click that thumbs up as you do, and as you watch it, it'll help share this story. So thank y'all who were able to do that. Let's keep going.
Caitlin, Kevin, today a community and a family are mourning the loss of a 6-year-old whose life was taken. They've even set up a memorial outside the home where he was killed. As you can see, you see balloons, Spider-Man balloons.
This was Kansas City, Missouri. Like I said, I was getting my story confused there, speaking on a different story, a different city. But this story comes out of Kansas City, Missouri. So my apologies for that.
Stuffed animals, lit candles, flowers, and more as they try to pick up the pieces. A memorial for a 6-year-old boy now sits out front of the home where he was killed overnight. His family praying for answers.
The police came to my house at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I told them that we didn't know whether it happened here or what. So I came down here and they was all over. They turned us around.
Around midnight, police came to 7312 Indiana Avenue on a disturbance call, forcing their way inside, only to find the child dead. Neighbors describing the news as haunting and heartbreaking.
My heart dropped. I didn't have any words, that I can say other than that it's shocking to hear that I lived this close to something like this that happened.
Jackson County prosecutors have now charged the mother of the young boy with first-degree murder in the death of her own child. Police say this is a reminder that if you see something, say something.
I don't know what happened in this situation, but this is an opportunity to remind people that yes, if people need help, even if they're not.
See something, say something. Just like this shirt says. And thank you, Kimberly Flowers. See something, say something, save lives. I know it might be a little bit hard for y'all to see it on the screen, but that's what this shirt says.
The mother of the young boy with first-degree murder in the death of her own child. Police say this is a reminder that if you see something, say something.
I don't know what happened in this situation, but this is an opportunity to remind people that yes, if people need help, even if they're not asking for it, it can't hurt to, please reach out and try to get people help, or at least let somebody know who may be able to intervene.
For families like this one.
This going too far. And I understand that we are all struggling with trials and tribulations in our life. But this mental issue is going too far.
Now a family and neighbors mourning the loss of such a young life want more work to be done, lighting a pathway to justice.
I'm just frustrated, right now, to hear and to see this has happened so close to home. I really am. I just don't know what else to say, but we need to just step up and get more involved with the city of Kansas City.
It's just really sad to say this, and I think that this boils down to the nuclear family, and us continuing to having children outside of wedlock, and for us to continue to keep procreating with people and having unprotected sex with people who don't deserve to have children. Men having sex with women who don't deserve your seed. Women having sex with men and receiving seed from unrighteous men. And we continue to just keep letting this happen. We don't call it out. You're not supposed to judge nobody. We keep making stupid statements like that. We continue to keep using mental illness with every little single thing that happens. All of these stories, we just chalk them up to mental illness, especially when it comes to these mothers. You don't hear stories about men doing stuff like this and they say, oh no, he's just evil. He needs to be locked up in jail, period. But then there's a mental illness condition or a person needs to be. But you know what makes this even more unique? What she said in her own words, that she said, no, I'm not mentally ill. She flat out sounds like she's ready to accept responsibility for what she did. And I don't see why we would ever even speak against it at this point. She deserves the ultimate penalty under law. I'm not going to repeat again what she did. But where's the biological father in this situation? Who knows? Don't know. But nonetheless, RIP to that 6-year-old little boy. I'm pretty sure some people are upset, especially for those who are PETA advocates for the dog. I'm sure they're upset by this story as well. But make sure you guys share this story. And again, RIP to that 6-year-old boy. Definitely did not deserve what he received from his own mother, okay? But thank you guys for listening to the story. Make sure you share it, like, share, subscribe to the channel. But we'll try to get you guys an update on the final result in this case, okay? Thank you. Peace.
Check out this wonderful organization that I'm proud to be a part of. It's called Bags for Kids, BAGS4KIDS.org. And check out their website. They really help a lot of kids in foster care, giving them a permanent piece of luggage and also a lot of items that they might need so that they feel that they belong, which they do. So go to the website, bags4kids.org. So go for it. It's a great place and they're doing great work.
Exclusive new products that you will only see on my website at www.sayitwithchess.com. These products are made special by my mother, Keyline Designs. The hoodie blankie, the face mask, as well as the 4-in-1 African head wrap. Now the way it works, it is a reversible bonnet. It has a headband that you can wear alone. It has a matching face mask as well. Please be sure to go over to our website and check out these nice new products that you will not find anywhere else.
What's going on, guys? This your boy, DJ Just J with Just Down TNT, and I am your humble host of the AFC Podcast. And people ask me all the time, what is the AFC Podcast? This is a platform for us to have open and candid conversations about children who are being taken advantage of by people who are in charge of protecting them. So sometimes we discuss the latest things going on in the news, but we advocate for children first. I get so many emails and comments from people that love what I do, and I want to continue to keep bringing content that matters to YouTube. Now, I would like to thank you in advance for your consideration to contributing to my platform. You can help support this channel by way of the links that are in the description box of each and every video. And also, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. I would like to thank you again and welcome to the AFC Podcast, where we advocate for children first. We'll see you guys on the next stream. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not a newscaster. This is not a news station. I am not here to deliver the news. I'm not here to be gentle, giving my commentary. I am not here to be on any race of people's side. I do not hate my own skin color, nor my daughter's mother. I do not hate my parents, nor where I came from. The goal of my platform is to bring awareness to the murder and abuse of children. I want to encourage more people to dedicate their time, energy, and focus onto the children. I want to encourage people to change their behavior, and I give many examples of why they should change their behavior. We have already saved many lives, and I believe that we can save a lot more lives with the support of our AFC platform. So please, don't get lost in how I convey a message. Just get the message. All right, this is your boy DJ Just J. Signing off. Holla at me. Peace.